back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Craig's Garage. The Skylark's back. Last episode, Skylark. We put this 350 together because I blew the other one up like an idiot. So today we're gonna see if we can save this 350. After we had gotten it running, I had realized how bad it burns oil. Like, I mean bad. And a couple more bads after that. So I have some ideas we're gonna do. All these ideas will be thanks to Vice Grip Garage for his Italian tune-up and all sorts of other stuff that he has done to save engines that have been sitting a while. This engine, when we put it together, had it ran in about 5-6 years, and after I'd gotten it together, I had found out that this engine had sat in his garage on the floor with a blanket on top of it, collecting moisture. So we're thinking that either one of the rings are stuck because it's cylinder 3 that's giving us a lot of trouble, or it is just that wore out. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. I got new gauges we're going to put in because they don't work anymore except the oil pressure gauge. And then we're going to put all the cooling stuff in it. We're going to rip all the parts back out of the Wildcat again because that blew up. I think it was last episode for the that was uploaded. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. I have about a month to get this car put back together and running. I'm hoping it'll be running today, and I can put some miles on it, and hopefully bring this 350 back around, because I want to do some burnouts with it one last time. We have our Wild Rose Car Show and Car Cruise coming up, and I don't want to miss it. Last year was the first year out of the 4 years I've owned this car now. I've made it once. The first year I was late. I won't talk about that one. Second year, I believe I blew the cam in it. And then the third year was, what was it? Yeah, the first 358, the mains out of it. So we made it last year with this, well, with engine number 2. This is engine number 3. So I gotta put the drive shaft parts back in. I'm gonna do that off camera really quick. So when we jump into it, I will have the drive shaft done and a couple other parts back onto it that are just kind of quick and easy. So we're going to jump into a time lapse right away for your guys' next scene of ripping the coolant system out of the Wildcat. I'm actually going to get the coolant draining now. That'll give us some time. And then, yeah, we should be rocking and rolling today. We're going to hear this fucker run, and she's going to be running good. And then we're going to tighten down this front end a little bit. She's a little loose, so this lumpy cannon here rattles this whole car now. So, yeah, let's kick some ass and get into a time lapse. everything is taken off the Wildcat that I can think of at the moment. We might need to take stuff off later down the road, but we can do that later. So next we're going to do, before I put any coolant into it, radiator and what, I want to take the valve cover off, put it to top dead on intake. So you can easily figure out by the hump that's in there to here. So they're offset, so it will be your second rocker arm, which will be where your number 1 wants to be. So we're going to pop that valve cover off, and I can kind of show you guys how to do that. So if you're watching this episode first, like if you have found my channel, you've made it this far, then you kind of have an understanding on this, if that makes any sense. I don't know, my brain's all over the place. So I take this off. Yeah, you guys watch here. I had ripped my pants on my new toolbox. Well, new to me, used to everybody else. So yeah, apologies. You guys see that? We're all grown adults here, so I don't really think anybody's going to care about a set of ripped pants. They're more worried about the vehicle itself. So, yeah. Just want to give you guys a little heads up on that. This I am not going to time lapse until we, start putting the coolant system and everything back into it. So, I've taken these valve covers off 700 trillion times. Kind of get pretty fast at it after a while. I should get new bolts. These are starting to get a little wore out and not staying tight. What I mean by tight is the threads are falling off. So they're actually stripped. So, gotta maybe invest in a new set. Might go with a chrome set, not too terribly sure. But we'll see. It's 90 degrees outside, and it's actually quite peaceful in here. The breeze is blowing pretty good. Yeah, good shit. Off camera, I did get the chip put back into the distributor. I pulled it out because we had actually fried the one on this one. So it didn't want to start. So that chip is actually out of the Wildcat. I'm going to order a new one for the Wildcat. So with where we're at on her right now, we're going to be waiting, But that's okay. So the nice thing with the storage unit I'm in, they have built new ones, and we can actually just push the Wildcat over the storage unit. They got to do electrical and put a beam up. Then we can move into it. And then we'll be pulling the 350 that was in this, the second one. We'll be pulling it apart, figuring out what went wrong, and if we can save the crank, because if we can save the crank, I'm going to put it in the first 350, and we are actually going to overhaul that 350, build it like bulletproof, so ARP on the bottom end, good new Cleveland 77, Cleveland, one of the two, I think it's pronounced one of the two. New bearings for that, and then we can put it into here. We'll put some headers on it. There's a company out there. If a lot of Buick people know, headers are extremely expensive. They are notoriously expensive, and it is slightly ridiculous how expensive headers are. With the little bit of horsepower they add, but the amazing sound they add, Is it worth the header? Yes and no. Now I'm running cast iron on both of these right now, and it does good. I like sound, so we're gonna ignore the header part shit and stuff like that. But there is a company out there, I don't exactly remember what they're called, but you can, if let's say Chevy 350 headers fit into this engine bay, so let's say we bolted a set on. Will they cross the cradle? We don't know. But if they do, they make these header flanges. Now you can either buy just the plate, or you can buy the plate with some 2-inch tubing sticking off each one. Then you just cut the 350 Chevy bolt pattern off, which will be straight across, and you'll go to the zigzag pattern, and it will, in theory, bolt right on. So I have a set of Pontiac headers sitting behind you guys for a 400 that were on my dad's car. They don't fit because the steering box is in the way. And we're going to put them on the Wildcat, and then I'm going to put a set on the first 350, and we're going all original on that. It ain't going to be hopped up. This is going to be a nice cruiser, and then we're going to pair it with a nice 700 R4 out of an RB. So, anyways, back to our actual thing here. Getting it to top dead center with not having to take the head off or pulling the plug, sticking your finger in there, or having something sitting on there like a long piece of wire to as it travels up, stuff like that. There's a timing mark down on the harmonic balancer. And you just rotate the engine. Now we're going to want to keep an eye on this guy. And we're going to rotate it. So, our odds should be close to top deck here. Now I'm going to rotate it some more. Now that would be top dead right there. In theory, I believe. Because this guy had open, as you guys saw it before, this had opened up some, and now it is closed, and the piston has compressed, which means the spark plug will ignite. So we're going to rotate it over, you guys can watch. In a couple turns, this one's going to start moving. So the piston is at the top, and piston is now traveling down. Exhaust valve is opening as the piston is now going up. Piston is getting close to the top, pushing the exhaust fumes out. Now it's at the top. The intake is now opening. Exhaust is closed. So intake is now opening. Intake is opening. Piston is pulling fuel into the chamber. Valve is now closed. Now you just watch harmonic balancer. There's going to be a nice groove on there. And in theory, that should be top dead right there, so that means cylinder one's going to be right here. I don't know if that's going to be extremely accurate, but so should be pretty close. So we know it's either going to be here or here. So if it doesn't want to run right, we just roll them back one. Perfect. So, but now we have a rough idea where cylinder one should be. I really hope I did that correctly. If I did not, somebody please correct me in the comment section. It sounded like I was professional, alright? So now I'm going to put the flex fan on and fan shroud and everything. We're going to jump back into a time lapse, finish this all up. And then I have to do a little bit of wiring. I had Rob the activator for the piece in there. That guy is loose. That is not good. Not good at all. But anyways, so we'll jump to time lapse. So after time lapse, we're gonna put new gauges in, and then off camera, I'm gonna pull the exhaust in some on the driver's side. It sticks out a little too far, and I don't like it. So yeah, let's get rolling. As it starts, I'm going to pull it out. Let it run and then let the quadrojets sit. Alright. Oh, she's got power. The door buzzer is going off.
Hell yeah. That's a good start.
Yeah, usually. Alright. Timing's late. Oh, turn clockwise. Now it's just a guessing game. Fuck everything goes. Because with the gas in there, it should have worked off. So if it doesn't fire, then we have to go the other way. That's the wires. Alright.
Yeah, that was loud out here.
Alright, so it's gonna go the other way. The hell was that? That sound like backfire to you?
Yeah, I don't know if there's definitely a backfire.
Yeah, we're gonna get it, I think. Because I don't want to retime this engine. Everything should be hooked up, right? Should be. It's always the scary part is that first startup. So alright. It's either gonna blow the fuck up or it's gonna sit there and sputter. I would take a step back like 2 steps. We advanced it too far and it fired early in the cylinder. want it, that's why it keeps trying to die. Now, hopefully I can get it to start. Let me know if this flapper door closes.
Yep.
guys off. You can see
how much smoke is rolling out. That's a lot. So that's coming from cylinder 3. Now this side ain't too bad. It's actually pretty good. So this side's okay. This side is not. We're gonna wait for it to get up to temp. Oil pressure is amazing now. So I had pulled the spring out of the Wildcat and put it in the oil pressure, that oil pump. So temp gauge does not work. But I'm gonna let it run for a couple minutes, and then I'll bring you guys back when we run the whole can of barium B12 down its throat. So we might kill it. I'm not too terribly sure. We'll see though. But our goal is to reduce that smoke there. So I will be back very shortly, and yeah, let it run. Alrighty, standing close to the camera. It's a speck loud out here. Getting ready to do the barium B12, see if it helps. Just normal B12 that you can get at the normal O'Reilly's or what. We're gonna see how it works. I'm quite nervous. I hope I don't wreck it. I've seen people online do this a bit, so I feel somewhat okay with me doing it. We'll take it nice and slow and just let her sip on the can, you know. So let's hold on. The fancy tab to break this thing loose, and it broke. It broke really bad. Let's try the other thing. It didn't help. Not much. So, but there's a lot of smoke rolling right now. And I don't want to make the guy mad here. She's about got some left in it, but so see what she's got in it. I mean, there's some. So, let her run for a minute, and then we'll get back on it again. Alright, here we go again. So, let her run a minute. So, we're going to finish off the can at Hopefully don't make anybody mad. It is a little after 7, so it shouldn't be too bad. So let's finish it up. Alright, that's done. So we're gonna let her sit for a minute. I'm gonna jack the engine, well, the car up, cool off for a minute, and then we're gonna drain the oil. So that there was to help heat up the oil. Now it can come down into the pan, and then any gunk that was in there, I wanted to make sure when I did the Bearingman B12, anything, if it got past the rings, it doesn't mess with the fresh oil that I've put into it. So I'm gonna sit for a minute, relax. It is very hot out, and I'm gonna drink some water. If you guys have made it to this far, take a break. Pause it. This would be a good time to pause, and then we are gonna continue to rock and roll. So I will be back very shortly for me, and a nanosecond for you. Alrighty, we're back. Yeah, okay, I've lost train of thought. Did the oil change, put a new Wix filter on. It's got 1030 heavy diesel oil in it and a bottle of engine restorer. It's like this blue liquid. It's in a silver and black can. I'm hoping this helps. I have a buddy that works on Buicks, and he's like, yeah, I had like a 70s Regal and put some of this engine restorer in, and it reduced the smoking pretty good, and thought I would give it a shot. So I got a can that's for a 6-cylinder engine in here. I might add another 4-cylinder, so this would be like for a V10, that's how much it would come out to. So I'm gonna start it up. I want to see if I can get my headlights to work, and if I can, I'm going to go out for a test drive, maybe. I might just scoot it around the parking lot really quick, but I will see you guys tomorrow, because with it running, I can get it home. So tomorrow we'll be driving it home, and yeah, hopefully it goes good. So let's, I'll just see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to fire this up and see how she does. You may have gotten a small glimpse of it, but we're back. It is downpouring. It is the next day. We're putting the hood hinges on. I had lost all the hardware, so I had to buy some. So we're going to get the hood on before we go out, and then get her started. And then I'm going to clean the car out. I got a bunch of shit in it, so I'm hoping I got the pin for that, the air cleaner, or we're not running an air cleaner on the way home. So, but we're gonna get the hood on. Yeah, so we'll just jump to the hood when the hood's done, and then we'll see where we go from there.
We kind of need both hands for that.
Yeah, well, if I set my camera stand up outside, it's gonna get rained on, and I don't want that just yet. Right. So we'll be back in a jiffy. We're going to get this hood and stuff figured out, and then we'll head her on home. I checked the fluid. Stuff looks good. Well, at least for oil. I haven't checked the radiator. That should still be full. And then we'll be rocking and rolling here. See you soon. Alrighty. The hood is on. Car is cleaned out. Somewhat. That's the stuff we're taking home. We're gonna start it up, see if it'll start. So, you want to record while it starts up?
rep.
Hood is adjusted too, so
Should be. Yeah, it shifts a tiny bit, but it's at least I can open it and close it.
exactly.
I got my Foreigner t-shirt. Went and saw Foreigner. Fuck yeah.
Can't see it.
You can't see it. Boom.
Can't see it.
God damn.
Foreigner. There you go.
Tour. Alright, let's get this big old plugger home. It's gonna smoke like a pig.
Yep. I'm gonna step out. Ish. AKA right here and no more. Window up. Now I'm gonna pull it out and then so it doesn't fill up with smoke in here. Yep. Window up. There he goes.
Actually running. Runs really good now. Like before it would die.
So I'm thinking that bearing in V12 definitely helped, or the choke is slightly closed. So if it dies while we're going down the road, we'll have to check that. So we're gonna unload my big ass TV that's in the van. I'm gonna roll this forward in neutral some, and then I think we'll head out. We'll strap you. I got the camera all set up for in there for you guys, so you guys can see. So yeah. So that is not oil from what we just did. That's when I had pulled the plug off for the Wildcat so we could get that car to run. So,
And it's still there.
and it's still there. So, I guess I can throw some floor dry down. Car can get rained on, windows are up, she can get washed. So we'll be with you very shortly, and then we're gonna head on out. Alrighty, we're in the car. My glasses keep fogging up, everything's fogging up. Can't get it to stop. So we're heading out here in a minute. I want it just to run a little bit more. It's about 50 pounds of oil pressure right now, which is really good. So car is definitely warming up though. Battery's charging. I'm used to the gauge reading like 13 or 14, so it might be reading a lot accurate now. So hopefully it charges. So I have it right here for my defroster. All right, let's flip. Well, maybe it's running okay. You know, it's got a bit of a jump to it. So see what this is getting for gas mileage. So I'll take a picture of the mileage counter. I'll top her off on fuel, and then I'm going to put a can of B12 into the tank. She can sip on that into the carb and what. So hopefully that helps some. So let us enjoy a nice ride. Skylark made it home, and it did good. Other than its slight misfiring it's got, and it's got a hiccup in it. Who knows what it's from, but it did good, you know. I broke tires loose on accident coming around a corner because the roads were soaking wet, and it just rolled smoke, you know. It looked like a diesel. I need to address the headlight issue, and it's not working. So we're going to start off by the plug. It's a 3/8 bolt that I got on it, and we're going to take it out. I think I had oversprayed by accident some of the prongs. Now I got rear tail lights, and that's grounded, and I got headlights here that are grounded. I don't know if they're, you know, in a good enough ground, so I might pull these off, get the shooter screw and what, and you know, scratch up some of the surface here and see if we can get the headlights going that way before we even touch that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these off. I'm going to jump into a small time lapse. We're going to yeah, we're just going to pre-drill some holes into here with the shooter screw and scratch up some of the fender, and then see if that will get our headlights to work. If it's not, then we'll address where the outlet is, because it's kind of a pain where it's at. So without further ado, let's jump into another time lapse. Alright, it's the next morning. I have failed miserably on these headlights. I still can't get them to work. We ended up cleaning the contact points for the wiring harness to the firewall. That didn't do anything. I have regrounded the headlights. That didn't do anything. I have changed out the dimmer switch. That didn't do anything. Well, we probably did a couple other things, but the other thing was we even checked fuses. Nothing seemed to be blowing on the block. I legit cannot figure it out. Either the wiring harness is cracked somewhere and the wire is broke, or I'm just really stupid at this. But anyways, I'm gonna move on. Try to keep a little bit more ground. I can at least just drive this in the daylight. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning, so we got plenty of daylight. I want to put in new gauges. This gauge doesn't work. It's brand new. Bought it from O'Reilly's. Didn't work. This gauge is either reading high or too low. This is the only one that works. I had got them in black and red, so black background, white lettering, red needles, because it matched the dash color. Kind of wanted to keep it a combination, but they suck. So I see a lot of guys run these, and apparently these are a hell of a lot better. Yeah, they're not a white lettering, black background, but I'd be more happy being able to monitor the car while it's running than complaining about the color and needle colors for gauges. So I'm going to crack this guy open. I think I did it earlier, but that was a while ago. So it's got, your temp, volts, and oil. So the nice thing about the oil pressure goes up to 100 because of the new spring that we got on it. For some fucking reason, it maxes out the gauge. So I did find out too that they got some color options. So I put red in it. Just a more relaxed color. Yeah. So let's see the wiring on these lights here. I'm gonna pop this guy off. Hold up. So the nice thing too, this temp gauge is a lot thicker, and we'll compare it when we get the other one out. We're just gonna cut it out. It seems to be the best route because they're a pain sometimes. So, but the wiring for the lights shouldn't be too difficult. That'll be the nice thing too. Only the oil pressure light works. So, again, another thing that will be nice about working on this. I don't know how the volts will go, but we'll figure that one out as we go. So I can at least do oil pressure and temp. So volts again, I'm not too worried about the volts. I trust it. The car didn't die on the way here, and it was a half-hour drive. And I think at that point the battery would have drained itself and died. So I put the red ones in. My dad's car has red dash lights, and I really like that. And I'm debated on changing these all out to a brighter light and red. So having the red in there will be nice, but yeah, this gives it a better feel too. I like how it's a depth and sticks out more. So let's get the panel that I had put on and look at all the sketchy setup that we get in it. Just got some shooter screws in here. You're wondering why I didn't just strap the panel like this down into there. I'm a big fan of the tuner cars. They got all the gauges on the pillar, and with wiring them to the bottom of the dash, you gotta look down. You know, you look down, there's a deer. Boom. It's the end of it, you know, something might be wrecked. But this, glance over really quick, glance over. You know, my eyesight's really bad too, so with it being up here, it's a win-win for me. So. There we go. We're gonna fix up this wiring situation here too. Oh, bolts should plug right in, and then we just ground it off. Alright, that don't look too difficult. I've had an oil leak in here too, so there's a oil rag. So all this is just going to be fixed and good to go. So, yeah. Holy moly on wiring, brother. Alright, so we got a slightly broken wire there. Looks like these are for our lights here. So let's get the oil pressure one off. Again, I've grabbed the wrong size, but should be able to bite into it enough. We can at least... yeah, we can at least take it off. Alright, here's our oil pressure. Here is our lights. Jesus. Alright. So, how does this cobbled what the fuck work? Alright. So this is our power, and then we're gonna run all our powers into one wire, and then we got the black on our side, so we can just ground it. So should be okay. And then this guy, we're gonna snip and splice and run a plug-in. So we're getting this figured out already. So yeah, right. What size is that? I had that little 10. I don't know where the hell I put it. That's a 9/16. That guy will not work. Here it is. That'll give me a better idea of what size these will be. Alright. Let me go get some sockets and then we'll get this what the klutz figured out. But let's, before we do that, see what the oil pressure. Will these properly fit in here though? That's the next thing. I prefer them to be a tighter fit. They fit in there. I can always put some electrical tape around it. They'll make a spacer. So oil pressure will be easy to hook up. So that'll be nice. All the lights I'm gonna take out for now. Get this guy broke loose. And then I can hook this guy right up. Nice and tight. Oil pressure is technically done already. So, perfect. Alright, I will be right back and we'll get this mess here all figured out. I'm going to grab some connectors. Yeah. Or we reuse all this, hook up all the positives, and we make this look a lot nicer. So again, I will be back. the gauges are done. We're gonna see if this is a big old waste of time. I mean, all the lights are working in them. Volt gauge works and all the lights in them work. Beautiful. At least we were a success on that part. I can hook up the temp now. So the temp I'm just gonna do off camera. Let me flip you guys around so you can see my not beautiful face. Hey, there I am. So we were successful and failed again on this episode. We failed on the headlights, but we got the gauges to work. I don't know if the temp or oil pressure is gonna work. But they light up and the volt gauge works, so that's all I care about. No, I'm joking. Oil pressure will probably work because it's the same line as before. So the only thing I'm going to be worried about is the temp, and if the temp will even reach to the outlet on the engine somewhere underneath there. So I'm going to hook that up. I'm going to end it here for today's episode. It's probably getting a little long on this episode, but the Skylark will be coming back some more. We got some suspension work to be doing on her. Probably the next time you guys will see it will be next month in September when we go on the cruise. So with no further ado, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next episode.